Hello, we meet again in this special program about Guangnam. This episode will continue to take us to the mountain of the province, where mainly Ketu people are living. Their culture and art are quite diverse and unique, deeply reflecting their spiritual life on the magnificent Zhengshan Mountains. Besides the traditional customs or habits, the rituals and unique festivals that existed through many generations, the Ketu also has a very excellent art, showing the artistic instinct and the deep perception of the world. The desire to preserve the traditional activities, the cultural quintessence, or the original beauty of human beings and animals that closely associated with the life of this ethnic minority is also expressed through this art, wood sculpture. Prupol is a Ketu ethnic intellectual who was the first one of Guangnam Highland to get a bachelor degree in biology at Vietnam University in 1973-1977. He understands the culture and customs of Ketu people, devotes to the national cultural heritage, and always takes the lead in preserving, promoting, and teaching the art of wood sculpture together with folk knowledge for the villagers and the younger generation. Prupol has been long attaching with wood sculptures, a kind of visual art associated with the cultural and spiritual life of Ketu people. Many gu houses, the traditional common house of the community in Lang Commune or Taeyang district, all have the presence of his ideas. He himself carves or designs the models, then instructs the young artisans in the village to make up the real products. Especially his sculpture has come to many places in the country, introducing the special arts of his community. He has participated in folk sculpture competitions in many provinces and cities in the country. Culture of the Ketu, as well as that of other ethnic groups, is rich and diverse. Typically, the craft of sculpture here, which is called by Ketu people crochet, it made its presence a long time ago. Old men in the village, whenever building grave house or girl house, cannot forget wood sculpture. There are many types of objects for this kind of art, such as people, birds, plants, and flowers, etc. Being a long-standing ethnic group living in the mountains region of Guangnam, Ketu people have created many cultural values with gong singing, gul house or tom house architecture. And one of those unique traditional cultural values is the architect of the tom. This type of architecture expresses traditional folk beliefs toward ancestors and grandparents. The Ketu believes that life or death is all the same. People on the other side of the world still feel the value of beauty. Therefore, the elderly even prepares for their death by searching for fine wood with good core in advance. A skilled sculptor can chisel out himself from year to year or can be helped by skillful artisans in the village to make their statue or coffin. Due to taboos, the parts and details of the tomb are sculptured separately and are kept in a certain place. When the homeowner dies, these parts will be completely assembled. Most of Ketu grave houses are made of wood with simple tools such as axes, handsaws, machete, or chisels. But they are elaborately crafted and portrayed with lively objects and images that are close to everyday life by all of the heart and sincere feelings for the deceased. Depending on each village, each region, the condition of the death, the character of the living, and the talents of the sculptors, the shape and design of tombs and coffins are accordingly different, thereby creating the diversity for the arts of sculpture here. The dead who were rich and got much property with many children will have beautiful and durable tombs, and are buried near the village or near the road so that it is easy for their children to worship and visit regularly. Each grave has its own style, but in general the spirit and nature of the tomb house are the same. Wood carving of the Ketu is not only present in tombs but also in houses and the gu house. Ketu sculpture is still preserved, while in other ethnic groups it is gradually disappearing. Almost every village, every area of Dongyang, Taeyang has wood sculpture, and many skilled wood sculptors. Thanks to the movement of traditional village restoration, wood sculpture has also been restored. Taeyang is considered as a mini sculpture museum of the Katu, where hundreds of works are displayed as the typical decoration in the Gui house. The traditional sculpture of Katu people has existed for a long time. From the village's common house to each household in the village are all decorated with various kinds of carvings. Topics are often people, animals, or community activities and festivals. Previously, due to the war's destruction, this tradition has been forgotten. Since there was the central resolution of the party on the issue of preserving and promoting the Vietnamese culture with national identity, the Katu has done very well this policy and gradually restored the sculpture arts, enriching their spiritual life. Through these pieces of works, we will understand more about the daily life of the Katu, the image of rice spouting, mother bearing and taking care of her children, the festival of buffalo pricking, the scene of hunting, drinking together, or sharing the joy and sorrow in life are all lively carved in the sculpture works. Looking at the whole, it must be acknowledged that few mountainous areas of Guangnam have a deep interest in culture and arts like Taeyang. In particular, the opening sculpturing contest every 2 years for artisans in all mountain villages in the district converged to at the center to compete in an open, friendly and sharing atmosphere for mutual learning has reflected clearly the concern for the preservation and development of traditional culture and art in this land. There are beautiful shaped statues, but are affected by the paint colors. It is recommended that artisans should find it necessary to preserve local identities by using and ensuring the quality of local wood to maintain the soul and spirit of the sculpture art in every piece of works. What makes the art's value of Katu sculpture is its primitive nature. Primitive here means the pureness of materials, ideas, shape and lines, composition and color of the work. It is worth noting that at present there are many hybrid wood statues. The artisans of the forest has overused the color of industrial paint. It leads to the obscurity of the patterns, the details of the original folk Katu statue. Thus, many statues have good compositions, but are greatly influenced in terms of original art quality due to wrong color. The authentic Katu sculpture can only be preserved when we use folk material, namely wood, to ensure the language and the voice of this unique art form. The consciousness of Katu people to preserve their cultural and artistic values has shown the strong affirmation of their richness, diversity, and fineness. Through time, these preserved values will further their role in the daily life of the highland, making it more vivid and colorful. We've just learned about another beautiful feature of Guangnam. Please stay tuned to Guangnam Today through the website qrt.vn. Thank you so much for being with us, and goodbye for now.